Hi friends, it's Terry Stewart, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in the U.S. and Central Maryland. So I'm popping on today to share a Halloween fun fold card and a very cute, super easy mini pumpkin treat box. So let's get started. If you get ill, look away. I'm moving the camera and here we go. It's moving up and you're going to see my workspace. My big head, big light, all the things. Okay, let me adjust this a bit. I think that's gonna work. Maybe. Let me look on my website and see how things are going on there. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Where am I? I hope I'm in the right spot. Okay. I think I'm having an internet problem. There it is. Found it. Okay. Let me turn that off. I'm going to pull this down a bit. Put my mouse away. Grab my glasses. And then we can get started. So, this is the stamp sets that I'm using in this project. It's a fun fold card, and I'm using throughout the year because it has this trick or treat stamp. This stamp set is not in the catalog. It is online, in the online exclusive, so check it out. I don't have a sample of my card. I think I gave it away, so you're just going to watch me create the card as we go along. I did use the Country Birdhouse stamp. I used this speckled splatter stamp, and I think that's all. This was a club project that we did in my stamp club back in, I think, August we did this. So these are the pieces. Please check out my stamping blog, my blog, stampinghair.blogspot.com. I'll have all the measurements, photos, a shopping list, so you can check that out. But we have a quarter sheet of Highland Heather. We have a layer of pumpkin pie. Then we have another piece of Highland Heather and this embossed lemon lime twist. I love it. Can you see the embossing? That is the distressed tile 3D embossing folder, and that's going to go right on top. I've done a die cut already where we're going to put our trick or treat image words on, and then this is the mechanism for the fun fold. So this is 3 by 11 scored at 3 and 7 to make this Z, and then that's going to go right here, and this piece, this shorter piece, will be glued on. And that's what our card's going to look like. So, let's get stamping, huh? And I am going to be using pumpkin pie ink and the splatter image from the birdhouse, which I just showed. Let me get a piece of scrap paper, because when I'm doing my Facebook Lives, I just like to keep my work area pristine. So I'm going to ink this up and then just go quickly around the edges, giving it a splatter. And not, because we have the layer of Highland Heather above it, I don't have to do the center because that is going to be covered up. But I do want to kind of randomly stamp. Okay, I think that's going to do it for that piece. And I'm going to be using Pebbled Path. So that's going to get laid there. And I'm going to distress my piece of lemon lime twist. Now I think this piece was 3 by 4, and then this was 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, so it gives you a nice layer. So let me get a sponge dauber here, and Pebbled Path, and I just thought that the distressed tile with some sponging on it gave it a spooky atmosphere. Like this has been in some dusty basement or a haunted house that's been emptied. Nobody goes there. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a dusty, spooky feel. And then this die cut from the Unbounded Love dies. I'm going to put a little bit of a Pebbled Path, kind of distress that too. So it has distressed embossing, it has distressed daubing ink, a little bit like spooky feel. And then for the words, my trick-or-treat words from throughout the year, I'm going to be using Gorgeous Grape. Now, this is a darker purple. I just thought that would stand out a little bit more, and that's why I went with it. So there is the die cut. Let's see if I can get this straight. I didn't check my stamp set, so it seems to be higher. Ugh. This is terrible. What I usually do, this is what I do. I put my stamp on and I try on the block and I try to get the bottom to be parallel with the bottom of the stamp, parallel with the bottom of the block, and then I can use that, the bottom of the block, stamp straight, hopefully. Let's see if it works out. Yes, voila. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, now let's put these two pieces together. I believe that's what I did. Because I'm going to be using some ribbon. This large black and vanilla large check ribbon. We're going to tie that around and put a knot on it and put that on top. Right? Okay. So let's get started with some adhering. And I'm going to be using my multi-purpose glue. It works well all the time. And then I feel like with this embossing, this 3D embossing, it gets down into the crevices and on top and makes a secure bond. So let's just center this up. There we go. And now with my ribbon, I'm gonna get to the end. This has been like my favorite ribbon. I'm getting to the end. And when I get to the end of a ribbon spool, it makes my heart happy, because that way I know I've used it, loved it, and I can replace it. I can get some new ribbon. So it's all good. So right over left, and then left over right. I don't know what this knot makes, but I know my friend Chris, she remembers all these knots from Girl Scouts. I don't remember the name of the knot, but I remember right over left, left over right, and then you get a nice little bow. And I'll snip this edge off like that, and snip it from the other side like that. That one didn't come out so well. Let's see if I can put this more at an angle. There we go. Now I'm happy. And it's a happy little bow. Okay, we did that. So let's start assembling. This is really a quick card to assemble. So put our pumpkin pie layer on top of our gorgeous, no, that was Highland Heather. It's the lighter color. It's not the dark purple. I'm sure the Gorgeous Grape, darker purple would have worked fine, but that's not the colors I chose. I went with Highland Heather and pumpkin pie and lemon lime twist. So this piece, our fun fold. Now I did, for our club, we used a retired stamp set, which is banner year. It had, I think, Boo, it had some little pumpkins, and you could put jack-o'-lantern faces. I did some bats, but it's retired. I don't have another Halloween set, so this is what I'm going with. I'm going to center this folded piece. Let me get my bone folder, because I like to crisp up those score lines, so this will lay flat. So it was scored at 3 inches, and then it was scored at 7 inches. So let's just crisp those up, and now we can center this left, right, top, bottom. That looks about right, and put our mechanism, adhere that to the base. So left, right, top, bottom. And I'm just eyeballing this. I'm sure if you wanted to be more precise, you could definitely measure. And then this piece is going to go on top of this on the short end. But I just, again, want to do right, left, top, bottom. So I'm just going to put adhesive, my liquid glue, on this fold, on the shorter edge. I think that'll be plenty of glue to hold it. Okay, so here we go. Right, left, top, bottom. There we go. I think that's the right spot. So just give that a press and it will hold. And bring in my glue, my dimensionals. Pick this piece up and put that over here on the right hand side. So I am the queen of the dimensionals. I'm going to control myself and only use 2, and then it will straddle the ribbon. And some more to the right like that, and take these covers off. And I think, so I'm looking at this word, the treat, and I'm going to use the ribbon as a guide so that the word treat is over top of the ribbon. There we go. And there is the Halloween fun fold. Now if you had some images, maybe you had a Boo, you could even draw bats in here if you have a marker. But that is the Halloween card. And now for the treat, I'm going to move on to make a little tiny treat box. So this holds 2 Dove chocolates in here, or you could put in, I think I had some Hershey, no, here it is. I think the Reese's will fit right in there. So you could put any kind of little treat in there you want. But I have these 2 doves in here. And this is made with the Bee Builder punch. So let me bring my supplies in. I'll move this card out. We will need the pumpkin pie. So we start with a piece of cardstock, and I saw this on the demonstrator website. Another demonstrator shared this, and I can't remember her name. I will post that in my blog, so stampinghair.blogspot.com afterwards, and give her credit. And make sure you go there so you can get the directions, the dimensions, and the shopping list. So this is 3.5 by 3 pumpkin pie. Then you just score it 1 inch all the way around. And let me get my, where did I put my snips? Here they are. And so with the long edge at the top, or at the bottom, anyway, the long edge towards you, snip on the score lines up to the first horizontal score line. And then we're going to make tabs tab, and tab. And this just makes it easier to fold. So we'll come in at an angle, and these are going to be inside the box, so they don't have to be perfected. They don't have to be equal. Then turn it on the other long side towards you. Again, snip towards the horizontal score line, and then make a tab. Make a tab. This just reduces the bulk that you're folding with cardstock. Okay. And now we can make our box. Bring in my handy dandy bone folder, and then on each of these score lines, just crisp it up, and fold each of the tabs and the flaps, so, and then fold. So this is a little mini box. Oop. And we're going to put those tabs on the inside of the longer flaps, and that's going to make our box. So with my adhesive, I'm just going to put a little smudge there, a little smudge there, and those go on the inside. So you want to line the edges, the folded edge right to the tab, so it's a straight box, like so, like so. So I've got the tab on the end aligned with the tab on the front. The flap, is that a flap, a tab? And then you can put some glue on this one and this one, and then fold that up, square the sides. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. Square the sides. Alright, there's a little tiny box. Now this measures 1.5 by 1. 1.5 by 1. That's a tiny little box. Now we're going to do our pumpkin. So I have some scraps of pumpkin pie, and I'm going to bring in the Bee Builder punch, and we're going to punch 3 of the bodies. And I think this is, let's see, this is 1.5, and you might be able to use 1.25. So I start on the right hand side, and I'll show you why. So 1 full bee body with the stinger, and then you're going to do 2 others without the stinger. And I found you could just slide down without the stinger. So you just slide it down and don't punch the stinger. That's what you need. You need that many bee bodies. 1 with a stinger, 2 without the stinger. And we don't need this scrap. So this scrap ended up being 5.25 by 1.5, and it's perfect for 3 bee bodies. Now I'm just going to trim off that a little bit. You really don't need any kind of stinger. Get these, and then pumpkin pie and a sponge dauber. Is this the one I used? Yeah, I think I used that one on that last project. So sponge dauber. This one has been washed. It just has stained. And then you're just going to go around the edges. And if you don't have daubers and you have markers, blends, alcohol markers, they work just as well. So just do the edges. And for these ones without the stinger, you only need to do one side because the other side's going to be behind. So let's do this side. Did I do? No. Thought I was doing the same side, but no. It's all good. Maybe it needs a little bit more, right? Yeah. Looks good. Perfect. And now we can assemble our bee body. So the stinger is going to go up. We're going to do one side and then the other side, and that makes our pumpkin. So put some adhesive on that side and come in. Makes our pumpkin. And then on this one, put some adhesive, some glue, and stick that down. And there is our pumpkin. And I want to color the stinger. Now this is a Stampin' Up marker, so this is water-based. This is not not a alcohol marker, but you could use an alcohol marker. So I just want to do that little stem in crumb cake. And get my linen thread out. Some linen thread. And I'm going to make a bow. I tie off the spools just because I have found that if I cut a piece of ribbon or linen thread, I always cut too short or too long. I can't get the happy medium, so if I leave it on the spool, it seems just to work out better for me. So that's what I do. And get my bow, looks good. Now where did I do my snips? I was just like, where are they? Okay, and glue dots. So let me get my, take your pick tool, and I'm going to fold this glue dot in half. I hope you can see this. And then I'm going to fold it in half again, and it just makes a little tiny lump of glue dot. And I'm going to put that right at the base of my stem, former stinger, now stem, pumpkin stem. And I'm going to put this ribbon right on top. There we go. Like that. And then my pumpkin is going to go on my box, like so. Let me put some adhesive, some liquid glue right here. I am going to show do a short, brief catalog tour where you can find all these products. They do come out of the current annual catalog, the 2024 to 2025 Stampin' Up catalog. There we go. Cute as a button, a mini little box. I said it was 1 by 1.5. Super cute. Here is the fun fold card. They match. And let me do this super quick catalog tour. Let's move that up here. So this is Stampin' Up's May 2024 to April 2025 catalog. And then we have on page 50 is the country birdhouse. And this is where I got the speckle splatter stamp. And I think on the next page, Unbounded Beauty is on page 54. And the dies that I use, this is the die. This one down here is the one I used. No, this one. This one is the die, right? Yeah, this one with the rounded. Unbounded Beauty on page 55. And then we go to page 75. And that's where the Bee Builder Punch is, right here. Moving on. Our daubers. So I use daubers in both projects. And they're page 88 up here, sponge daubers. You get 5 daubers in a pack for applying ink. And then on page 128 is Distress Tile 3D embossing folder right here. Page 129 actually. And then we start in with the cardstocks. There's the Highland Heather on page 135, Highland Heather cardstock right there. 136 is Pumpkin Pie cardstock and ink, Lemon Lime Twist cardstock. And then on page 137, oh, that's Gorgeous Grape. That was the ink on page 137, ink pad and Highland Heather cardstock right there. So you had Highland Heather cardstock, Pumpkin Pie, Lemon Lime Twist, Gorgeous Grape ink, and then on page 139 is the Pebbled Path ink that I used, and at the bottom is Basic White cardstock. So that was a very quick tour of the ingredients to make a Halloween card and a super easy, super cute mini treat box, pumpkin treat box. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like and subscribe on my channel so you'll be notified the next time I go live with another fun project. And I am committed to doing one fun project Facebook Live every week. I do post regularly on my blog, stampinghair.blogspot.com, so make sure to check that out and follow me. And until next time, remember, stamping is fun. Bye!